Yes, people. Welcome back to the Ram Stand. I hope everyone is doing well this afternoon. Big week that's happened for English football. As the title says already, English football is currently in the mud. Liverpool losing 1-0 to Galatasaray. Tottenham getting humbled 5-2 against Atletico. Chelsea getting humbled by PSG. Man City getting humbled by Real Madrid. A shock. I'm going to say it, a shock 1-1 draw for Arsenal against a lackluster Leverkusen that's playing quite poorly this season for putting the Bundesliga. And the only shining light for English football, Newcastle United getting a 1-1 draw against arguably one of the best teams in Europe, arguably the favourites for the Champions League, Barcelona as well. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment on the video if you have any thoughts about the game as well. But let's get straight into it. We'll start off with the first kickoff of the Champions League, Liverpool versus Galatasaray. Liverpool losing comfortably, I'd say comfortably. We were very, very poor that game against a Galatasaray team that was not at the level at all. If you looked at it before the game, Galatasaray, probably look at Osimhen as the only main guy, but they have the likes of Lamina, Davinson Sanchez, basically a team of ex-Premier League players that you'd think were never of the level, but they currently are. I think if you're looking at our team, the quality in general, Liverpool's quality from start to finish was not at the level. Goalkeeper wise was the only position that we actually played well. Right back was non-existent. Centre backs were poor. Left back was poor. I felt as though everyone was poor in that game, not at the level. I'm not talking about average performances. Average performances for me count as poor performances, and they weren't good. They weren't good at all, especially the fact that we lost against Galatasaray the way we did. Lost without even putting up a proper fight against them. Our best chance was created not through us, but through a Galatasaray mistake. And I think that says a lot. It says a lot on that front. We start off, obviously, Mario Lemina getting the goal from a very poorly defended set piece play. Osimhen having a free header, McAllister not even challenging, Van Dijk not being able to get across, Ekitike not following Osimhen's man. A very, very poor worked set piece play. Very, very poorly worked, very poorly defended, and nothing that we deserved. It was the first shot on goal, and it's the first goal of the game. If you defend poorly, give them an open opportunity, they will punish you, and that's exactly what they did. After having 3 or 4 gilt-edged opportunities, we somehow end up conceding the way we did and put ourselves in a tough position as well. I can see there's already 6 people in the chat. Big up yourselves that have joined to the channel. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new. I can see obviously big up Velve that's already here. Big up Jaden as well. Ram, who's your favorite player, Premier League player growing up watching? Mine is Drogba. If you're talking outside of Liverpool, it will probably be someone like, even though he's a man, it'll probably be Wayne Rooney. I used to really like watching Wayne Rooney. He blended technical ability with aggression. I think off the top of my head, Wayne Rooney stands out for me as a great player to watch. Very, very great player to watch. I love Verts, but why is he so casual with his shots? Just slap it. Exactly, and we'll get onto it. The fact that we had 3 opportunities, 2 of them which Verts should have put away. He missing an open goal from 25 yards out with the goalkeeper stuck in no man's land. The fact that we had he had a 1v1 which he pillow foot. I call pillow foot. The fact that he tried to caress it into the bottom corner instead of putting his laces to it just says a lot, man. Says an absolute lot about the confidence of this team. And that don't mean he gets away without criticism. He deserves all the criticism that he gets. Poor piece of work from Florian Wirtz, a guy that we paid numerous amount of money for, a tremendous amount of money for, should be putting those 2 shots away. at bare minimum. But that doesn't go for only Verts. Everyone else was poor in their own individual way. Ekatike was poor, missed a 1v1. The fact that he was running through on goal and didn't take advantage of the opportunity that he had, still should be doing a lot better. Mo Salah, non-existent that game, completely non-existent. One of the worst performances that I saw from a player in quite a while. Rightfully so, got taken off. And I don't care if people say, look at what the expected XG was when he wasn't on the pitch. We were still crap. That don't negate the fact that he was still poor that game. He did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And if people want to use excuses for that guy, go ahead and do that. But everyone can get it. Anyone can get it. Only player that don't deserve any criticism from me is probably Mamadashvili. Probably the only one that don't deserve any form of criticism, sorry. Mamadashvili was probably the only good player in that game. Everyone else was not at the level. Ibu Konate, getting himself involved in a situation where he doesn't need to get himself involved with. Like Frimpong had the guy covered. I remember, I think it was Baris Yilmaz was running through and Frimpong was on a foot race with him and he dealt with him. But then Ibu just comes along and just makes a mess of it. Like, sometimes the best way of defending is letting others defend for themselves. And once they get past them, then it's on you to do the covering work. But Ibu getting himself concerned with things that doesn't need to concern him is the crazy thing. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we do end up conceding another goal, fortuitously, I have to add. The fact that Baris Yilmaz, I think, was one of the reasons why we conceded the second goal and got a little bit lucky. He was adjudged offside, which to this day, I still don't know how he's adjudged offside. I don't think he stopped Robertson from getting to the ball. I think he just stopped running in general. I think it's an error from Konate in the first place. I think Osimhen was onside. It's just one of those ones. I don't understand why Konate, again, making a mess of things. Like, why do you keep doing that? You know you can play it to your goalkeeper. Play it to the goalkeeper. And then let him deal with the situation. But then he just makes an absolute mess of it. And Osimhen gets a free goal, and we get saved by the linesman. Saved by the linesman. But we do end up getting a goal. We do end up scoring a goal. Although, again, you could argue that there's so many ricochets. First, the ball goes in from Szoboszlai, very good ball in. Ibu Konate sticks it into the back of the net, but is adjudged to have used his hand to score the goal. However, looking at multiple replays, and I'm talking multiple replays, I'm talking different angles, it takes so many ricochets, so many deflections, so many times the ball bounces off a player and goes into the back of the net. It is one of the most scrappiest goals that you will see in the Champions League. One of the most scrappiest goals. And for me, I think we were harshly done by. I think it's one of those ones where we're like, how can you say that Konate scores a goal with his hand when the ball wasn't even going into the back of the net? It takes a touch off a Galatasaray player, then bounces off Virgil's heel, then bounces off another Galatasaray player, then bounces off the goalkeeper. It's just one of those games where you're like, one of those goals where you're like, okay, cool, fine. Maybe it's one of those ones where it's like, it takes a multiple deflection and maybe it comes off Konate's hand and goes to the back of the net. No, it can clearly see from multiple replays the Galatasaray player got the last touch of the ball, and he's the last guy to put the ball in the back of the net, not Ibu Konate. But it is what it is, and there's been so many problems with this Liverpool team. So many problems with this Liverpool team. The manager deserves a lot of criticism. The fact that we're still persisting on playing Florian Wirtz on the left wing. Florian Wirtz is not a left winger. Hated to break it to everyone, Hated to break it to the people that want him to play left wing. He's a better left winger than majority of people think. He's a better left winger. He's a better left winger than he is a cam. He plays best on the left wing. Look what he does for Germany. Playing as a left winger for Germany is different to playing as a left winger for Liverpool. And we need to stop. We need to stop with this ridiculous claims that Florian Wirtz is best suited as a left winger. No, we bought him as a 10. We play him as a 10. His best moments are in that 10 position, not as a left winger. Not as a left winger. And it's annoying. And it's so hard to see a manager consistently put him in the wrong positions week in, week out. It's ridiculous to see that. Absolutely ridiculous. But what else is there to say? What else is there to say? There's been so many situations where we're like poor places of play, poor passages of play. Our only chances were through mistakes from the Galatasaray team. I wouldn't say it's any any form of passages of play that we cut through them like a knife through butter. Just overall, a very, very poor performance from a Liverpool team that are lacking confidence, lacking in any ideas, and lacking in any motivation as well. No motivation at all. And you may be the case that we may win the game at Anfield, seeing as though they haven't got any fans in the stadium. It will be fully Liverpool support from minute 1 to minute 90. But that doesn't excuse the fact that we were so poor today. It don't. Our performance today was our performance on Tuesday is inexcusable. Inexcusable. And honestly, we've got to be doing better. We've got to be doing better. But that's my thoughts on the game in general. I want to hear your thoughts as well. Yeah, Rooney he was a very good player, man. Genuinely, I was watching a front three of Darwin Nunez. I'll tell you what, Darwin Nunez will put more effort into the team, do more for the team than what those three did. Those three did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Big up, Sai. I hope you're doing well, bro. I hope you're doing well. Salah looks so out of touch. He played like he doesn't want to be there. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. Don't be there. You can tell when a player is done at the level. Unfortunately, Salah is in that bracket. He is. That don't mean he escapes criticism. I don't care if someone says, oh, this player was worse than Salah, so why should we have a go at him? I don't give a damn. If a player was worse than Salah, both get criticism. As in, no one hides. People want to protect players by saying, this other player was worse than that. We should be going at him. No. If you're poor, you get criticism, regardless of how poor other players were. If you don't pull your weight in this team, you get criticism. That's what I've always been. That's what I've always been about. Ridiculous. In Europe, they are more stricter. If that's in the Prem, it's still 2-0. Exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. Around the corner was also Konate mistake. Probably. I don't know. I haven't watched the game ever since. I just really don't want to watch that game again. Waste of my time. For 90 minutes of waste. Pure waste of time. Rio not getting any minutes is diabolical. Thank you for reminding me, Sai. Another thing that we spoke about. I spoke about on Hassan's channel. The fact that Liverpool had someone like Rio Ngamo who had a man of the match performance against Wolves, and he didn't see any minutes at Galatasaray. He was by far our best player against Wolves. And the fact that he didn't see any minutes in Turkey, we needed some form of impetus. We needed some form of play where we wanted someone to be direct and take on his winger, because none of our players were doing that. None of them were doing that. And yet, Rio Ngamoa is still there, sitting on the bench, twiddling his thumbs, being like, what do I do? I'm not going to see any minutes. I'm not going to be playing. So why Why does the manager persist in playing players that are so out of form in the positions that they're not meant to be in? Why is Wirtz playing on the left when you got Ruan Gamoa in good form sitting on the bench? Why is Szoboszlai playing on in the middle when we know that he's best suited in that right hand channel, trying to make stuff happen? Every time we needed someone to produce some form of quality in the edge of the area, he was always in the box. Again, question marks need to be asked of this manager, and I'm at a point where we can't be talking about the manager at left, right, and center because we need to start talking about the board members. We need to start talking about the likes of Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards persisting with Arne Slot as manager, persisting with him. I'm saying it's persisting with him. I don't know why they're still persisting with him. I don't know whether they say that he's the player guy that can take us forward, turn things around. It don't look like he's going to turn things around. It looks as though he's stripping away what is Liverpool, the essence of what made us so good, the essence that made us one of the best teams in Europe, best teams in the world. So criticism needs to be given to those two guys as well. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Ram, will you play Salah central and Rio on the right? No. If we're playing with wingers and Salah, I'm sorry. Salah can't play as a right winger anymore. Salah can't play as a lone striker as well. If Salah's going to play as a striker, we got to play two up top. Crazy. One more thing is playing Maka full 90 and Jones not getting any minute is bad management. Exactly. Grav was poor. McAllister was poor. Szoboszlai was poor. No midfield at all. And the fact, one thing that we lacked in that game was control. And who provides that for us? Who in Liverpool provides control for us? It's Curtis Jones. And the fact that he ain't seeing any minutes at all, ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's all. That's all of my thoughts on the Liverpool Galatasaray game. Just want to get everyone's thoughts on it. Obviously, people say want to put in this picture because it sort of sums up that performance that we had. Everyone on the floor, everyone standing about, pure chaos as well. So big up everyone as well. I can see there's 7 people in the chat. Big up everyone that's in the chat. Make sure you like the stream, man. At least get this stream up to 50 likes on the replay. I'll say 50 likes on the replay, but get the likes up as much as possible. The algorithm is doing us a mazza right now, so get the likes up as much as possible, people. Get the likes up, get the likes up. But the next game we're going to go on to, is, of course, what is the next game? Next game we're going to get onto is, of course, probably the only shining light. Oh, no, do you know what? I'm going to save that for last. The next game we're going to go on to is Atletico versus Tottenham. One of the most embarrassing performances that we will see from an English team this season. And as always, the North London clubs. Tottenham last season, again, a couple of seasons ago against Bayern. Tottenham this season, Arsenal against Bayern, Arsenal against Barcelona. It's always them. And unfortunately, Tottenham were at a point where relegation is not only a possibility, but it's the embarrassment has finally sinked in. Losing 4-0 after 20 minutes against Atletico is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. You can't be going into a game and thinking, you know what, I'll play my second choice keeper to make a statement. I'll play my second choice keeper not because he's good enough, it's because my first choice keeper is crap. My first choice keeper is not cutting the mustard. I need to set a statement down. And what does he do? Completely destroys his confidence. The guy conceded 4 goals in 20 minutes. Let that sink in. 4 goals in 20 minutes. Got hooked after 20 minutes, being like, Nah, get him out there. He's costing us the game. Imagine that. What would that do for someone's confidence? Imagine what would do for someone that confidence. Like you can see on the thumbnail right now, is Kinski's his name, and Romero hugging him, being like, "Bro, it's okay. It's okay. It's not okay for Tottenham though. Tottenham are a mess. Tottenham are an absolute mess. I don't know why they signed Igor Tudor. Great centre back, fantastic centre back. But as a manager, have you not seen his last couple of stints with Inter and Juventus? Have you not seen his last interim stints? Clearly not at the level. And again, it's not a case of Tottenham. Tottenham are a weird bunch because they've got some decent players. They truly have. They got decent players. Let's not overreact. They have some decent players. But the thought of relegation as a possibility is crazy. A top 6 team, an established top 6 team who's very, very good, has some very good players. Were challenging for a league title about almost a decade ago. They were challenging for a league title. They're in the Champions League round of 16. To be relegated. They won the Europa League the season before. Crazy, man. Tottenham are a massive mess. Tottenham are a massive mess. And the sooner it gets sorted, the sooner the bleeding stops, and the more they could think about next season. Because right now, they need to think about their status in the Premier League, because that is under serious threat. Under serious threat. Big up Sammy in the chat. The Premier is still the best league, bro. Let's not overreact. You can say that. I think it's the most entertaining league in the world, but if you're telling me about quality of football, I think it showed last night that they just got absolutely done by everybody. Absolutely done. Spurs know the reality and they don't want to be there. Exactly. That's the case. That is the case. Captain Hook playing over Rio was mad. Crazy, man. Crazy. It's crazy. 3 goals, I think. Yeah, 3 goals in 20 is crazy. I don't know. Actually, I swear it's 4 goals in 20. I'm pretty sure it's 4 goals in 20. Let me have a look. 4 goals in 22 minutes. Lenormand scored in the 22nd minute, so I'll give them that. 3 goals in 15 is crazy still. 3 goals in 15 is crazy. It's overrated. There's no more players with Valero skill, just pace merchants. Exactly. Where there's no more skill, there's no more technical ability. It's all about athleticism. You know what? I used to grow up on where players would have technical ability and athleticism at the same time. Now I feel like it's just athleticism and nothing else. It's crazy how we're in a space where athleticism, being able to run 90 minutes is overlooking the importance of football, man. The importance of football. Technical ability matters for everything, man. It matters for everything. Prem teams forgot how to play ball, too busy on set pieces. Exactly. There's no styles of play. And again, in Europe, this is why I say each league has its own difficulties. But in Champions League, you're playing up against teams that have different styles of play that will expose some of your weakness, and they will expose some of their weaknesses as well. However, people will say group stages, they were so good. The English teams, all 6 English teams, barring Newcastle, finished in the top 8. What did we learn from last season? PSG finished in the middle of the table and still qualified and ended up winning the Champions League. Group stage means nothing. I think we need to come to the conclusion it means nothing. Bodo Glimt were playing Inter Milan in the playoffs. Their game was against Sporting, who finished 8th. Are we going to rate Sporting now? This is what happened with football, man. It's happened with football. I'm going to say this again. English football is the most exciting league to watch in the world. The quality of players that they have is different, but the technical side of things and the tactics behind it is so poor. So poor. And it look, I'm going to maintain the stance that I have. The ceiling of English football has dropped significantly from what it was 5 or 6 years ago. The floor hasn't risen. The floor has stayed the same. You always had the smaller teams would have you'd have teams like Wolves that were always challenging for those European places. Burnley at points challenged for the European places. You had Sunderland at Sheffield United when they first got promoted were challenging for these places. This is the kind of stuff that this is the kind of situation that the Premier League were dealing back then. But people want to dismiss it because of how dominant the likes of Liverpool and City were. Because of how dominant that they were. Not because of how poor people will say Liverpool and City will coast through all these teams. Yes, because the quality of squad building and talent shows. It showed. And I'm going to maintain this. The ceiling has dropped. The floor has stayed the same. We have the top level teams have dropped significantly and almost gone closer to the level of the smaller teams, man. Smaller teams, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It was the best league in the world. Now it's shit. Exactly. Ram, when tell you Liverpool fans Hazard is levels above Salah, you cry. You bring up goals and says he sits on the top of the table. Then Shearer is God. Well, unfortunately, Royal Bull, I don't know what Hazard is doing at the moment. I don't know what he's doing at the moment. He's the same age as Salah, but Salah's still playing football. Longevity means a lot. People will say, but R9 never had longevity, brother. He was the best player in the world from the mid-90s to the early 2000s. That's longevity in itself. 8 years at the top level. Had multiple major injuries and came back and still became the best player in the world. That is the level. That's the level. Hazard, I'm sorry, no longevity. What, from like 2013 to 2015? No, sorry, 2013 to 2019. And let's not forget the poor season that he had. 2015-16 was poor. 2017-18 wasn't that great. He would hop in and out. What's he doing at the moment? I don't know what he's doing. Salah's still playing football. He's still playing in the Champions League. Crazy. At 17 years, Hazard was winning Young Player of the Year in France. Okay, cool. Do you want me to talk about Salah when he was at Fiorentina? Do you want me to talk about Salah when he was at Roma? In half a season, he got around about, was it 17 to 18 GA? And this is when he was quick. The GA wasn't a thing for him. He was more about dribbling past players, running past players, running with the ball. This was before people talk about him being a stat merchant. Worst signing in football history, Hazard, top player though. He's got that on his CV. Hazard was a baller, 100%. I won't say otherwise. But to compare him to Salah, again, they're the same age. And where is he now? Where is he? He's not playing football anymore. Man's retired. If you're not serious about the game, then you can't be in the serious conversations. Then people say he'll play football as a hobby or anything like that. And I'll say this: if you're not serious about football, then why should you ever be in the serious conversations then? What age was he at Roma? You know he failed at Chelsea when Hazard was there. You do also realize Kevin De Bruyne failed at Chelsea. What did he do when he was at Wolfsburg? Again, poor argument. Poor argument. But on to the next game, because I think we talked about Tottenham. I think everyone knew they were going to lose, but the fact that they lost the way they did is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But on to the next game. Another battering for another team. PSG winning 5-2 against Chelsea. Now, people will come up to me and be like, the stats say Chelsea were the better team. XG wise, Chelsea were better. Footballing wise, PSG didn't offer much against them. just a lot of goalkeeping errors or goalkeeping led errors. Again, I'll ask you this, right? What does that matter? This is the Champions League. It's high stakes. Mistakes cost everything now. You can't make a mistake. In the league phase, if you make a mistake, cool, you got another game to go on to. This is high stakes. Zero room for error. Zero room for error. And I was one of those people that were like, you know what? Chelsea, this is the best opportunity you can to get to face PSG. I feel PSG are currently in their sort of hangover phase. They won their first Champions League last season. The way they did, they won the Champions League as well, was incredible. Very similar to what we had at Liverpool in 2005. I think 2006, we got knocked out of the round of 16 by Benfica. I see a lot of similarity with PSG and us back then. But this is what we go back to, the quality of your players. Robert Sanchez, starting... Okay, Sai says it right here. Starting Jorgensen over Robert Sanchez is important. Very bad decision. It's a very bad decision. I don't know why he started Jorgensen. No reason whatsoever. I know he wants to sort of play out from the back as much as possible. Jorgensen ain't that better at playing out from the back than Sanchez. And do you really want to play out the back against a team like a PSG with the likes of Ousmane Dembele in their team? The likes of Kvara when he came onto the pitch. The likes of Desiree Doué. Barcola, one of the most hardworking individuals in the PSG team. Again, it goes back to the manager. And we need to have a conversation about Liam Rossini, because I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans are starting to be like, you know what? The project is actually working. The project works. You know, the project will work. It will get better. In what shape or form does this project get better? What project gets better from here? It's crazy how everyone's just saying, look, we've got top players. They'll grow together. You don't win anything with kids. You don't win anything with kids. And maybe at some point you're willing to wait, but you got to buy quality players. I mean, I'm sorry. Is Garnacho of the quality? Is Pedro Neto of the quality? Is Fofana the quality? Chalobah the quality? Jorgensen, Sanchez, Gusto. Reece James is the best right back in the Premier League, in my opinion. Why is he playing in the middle of the park? But again, Chelsea fans will want us to think it's not that bad. We're better than Liverpool. Look at us. We'll look at where we are in the league. If you want to use other people's failures to mask your own failures, then that's cool. You do you. Because if you do that, you'll never ever be successful in life. If you want to bring up, oh, you're not any better, then it just masks the fact that you're insecure about how bad your team is. I openly say Liverpool are poor. Liverpool are a mess. We don't look like we're playing football properly. But I'll give criticism when it deserves. And Chelsea, the players, the manager, and the board, criticism. Everyone deserves criticism from start to finish. And I'm looking at the bench, man. And look, I'm looking at PSG's bench. They obviously got Chevalier, who's not a great goalkeeper himself. Lucas Hernandez, sextuple winner with Bayern Munich. Kvaratskhelia, obviously, we know what he's about. Gonzalo Ramos, multiple capped winner, and was also part of that team that won the Champions League last season. Zabanye, obviously, played a lot of Premier League experience with Bournemouth. These are the quality of players that they can bring on. And the new man have got Achimpong, Delap, Garnacho, Lavia, who's probably not even fit, and Andre Santos. That's the levels that we're talking about. And it's crazy how Chelsea fans will want us to think our squad is not actually that bad. It's actually quite good. We've got good players. And if you're telling me Garnacho is a good player, then I'm sorry. That says the level. The fact that he came on in the 88th minute says a lot. If he was that good, he would have come on the 60th minute to change the game straight off the bat. But he didn't. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But PSG, big up to them. Big up Kvaratskhelia came on, made an instant impact in that game. Vitinha with a beautiful finish to make it 3-2. And look, the tie is almost done. Chelsea will have to perform a miracle. Only 3 other teams in the history of the Champions League have turned over a 3-0 deficit. Deportivo La Coruña against AC Milan back in 2004. AS Roma against Barcelona in 2018, sorry. And us against Barcelona in 2019. It's gonna take a lot to beat this PSG team, and to beat them 3-0. Yeah, I don't see that happening, man. I don't see that happening at all. It's not poor, you clown. KDB, not even the greatest Belgian player. Go ask Belgian player Hazard is. Salah's just a goal scorer like Lukaku, Shearer, and the rest of donkeys. Bro, if you want to think like that, then why does he have the best playmaker award if he's just all about goals? Answer that question. And again, you haven't answered the question that I asked you. What is Hazard doing right now? What is he doing? Don't give me about what he did back when he was 17. Because then Salah spin up your entire defense when he was like 18 or 19 years old in the Champions League for a Basel team. Basel. Again, answer the question. What is Hazard doing right now? Big up Yards. Big up Yards. I hope you're doing well, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Delap, as he said, from Drogba to Delap, says a lot. Says a lot. Indy Bomber. Big up Clark. Breaking tonight at 7 p.m. Liverpool bombshell drops. Chaos behind the scenes. Player stuff. Everyone split right down the middle. Details coming. Nothing's going to change, Clark. Nothing's going to change. It's just one of those players. Yeah, big up, guys. Yeah, Clark, we'll get to it. It's because I'm going through every single game. Because there's 6 games, that's a lot to talk about. I'm just going to do one segment, go through the comments, and do the next segment as well. So yeah, big up everyone. Big up yours. Big up Clark as well, man. Big up the chat. Big up Ram. Big up. Ram and Plama, another stinker. Not being talked about as well. Not being talked about. He's meant to be one of the best players in the world. Get another generational stinker. Another stinker. Crazy, man. Crazy. Kvitschka is starting to get overrated. He's not had a good season. 2 goals yesterday won't change it. Again, he has quality. He has quality, bro. Has quality. I think he's one of those players that I think PSG in general have been having a poor season. Again, no one's going to convince me otherwise. No one could convince me otherwise that they are having their hangover season today. I see so many signs of it. From the league from the Champions League group stage. There's just so many signs of them having hangover. And it's expected. They won their first Champions League in their history. It took them so long to win it. Like, how many times since the PSG ownership took over, the Qataris took over PSG, they've been struggling in the Champions League. The amount of money that they spent, the expectations. Literally, these guys are these guys deserve to have like an off season after trying so hard to win the Champions League and doing so the manner that they did, being the best team in Europe. No one could deny them. Yes, last season they were the best team in Europe. So I think the whole team deserves an off season in that sort of case. Obviously, they should expect to win the league because that is their league, but to expect them to have a drop off, natural, man. Natural. Ram, why are you engaging this brother? I told time now out for a reason. Man ain't gonna let no boy disrespect you, Killy. Don't let these man draw you out. Nah, it's all good, bro. I'm here for debate. The thing is, he never answered my question about Hazard. I even asked about 10, 15 minutes ago, and he still hasn't answered it. So it's all that's on him, bro. Big up Clark. Verts gets more stick than Palmer, by the way. Exactly. Thing is, right, Verts gets stick for a reason that he can't control. He can't control the price tag. Liverpool only did that. Simon Rolfes is a very good negotiator. Look, I thought we could do some really good business with him. Clearly, Simon Rolfes is a little bit of a sneaky guy. Sneaky. He asked for 100 million, then he obviously upped the price to around about 150 million euros. So big up to Simon Rolfes. That's how business is. But yeah, how is it that Palmer doesn't get any stick when people say he's the best? He's the best. Last season, they were saying they're the best player in the Premier League, clear of Salah. When I said majority of the goals that he scored were against relegation opposition, and people want to bring up, he scored penalties against Tottenham. He scored penalties against Man City. Do I look like I give a crap? Salah's not only scoring penalties, scoring open play goals, getting assists in these games. Those are the levels that we're talking about. So I'm sorry, if people want to get butthurt about Palmer, if you want to put him at that pedestal, you got to give him the same level of criticism, man. Give him the same level of criticism. Kvichka Kvaratskhelia is allowed to have a poor season, though. Exactly. No, I think all those players are allowed a poor season. Again, if you try incredibly hard to win your first Champions League, don't expect the season after to be the same. There's gonna be a drop off. It's only natural. It's only natural that's gonna happen. Only natural that's gonna happen. But they league support them with postponed league games. Who's that? Is that PSG? I do not know that. If that's the case, then Fez. Ram, ask Sam again who's better, Vitinha or McAllister. There's no debate. Vitinha. Vitinha's better. Vitinha is one of the best midfielders in the world. Vitinha is one of the best midfielders in the world. And it's crazy to say that he was at Wolves and he was a failed player at Wolves. But Vitinha is one of the best players in the world. To be fair, though, I will say, even though he was at Wolves, I still thought after that season with Porto, I was still taking because he showed signs of massive improvement. He went to Wolves when he was relatively a baby. He's still a baby. So I kind of expected him to do well. And he did very well at Porto, then moved to PSG, had a good season at PSG, then went on to do better things from there. They should invent a new rule in football. Whoever wins a pen should take the pen. So you're saying if Virgil wins a penalty because he's getting his shirt pulled, that means that he has to take the pen. Valve, I love you, bro, but I don't want to see Virg take a pen. No, I don't want to see Ibu take a pen. If you're telling me Ibu gets pulled to the ground and Ibu has to take the penalty, I'm sorry, I don't want to see Ibu take a penalty. I don't want to see Ibu take a penalty. I really don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. He failed at Wolves because Nuno had him as a wingback, which was crazy. Again, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Yes, the league postponed PSG games before Chelsea match to give him more rest. No, but I know they played Club World Cup, Intercontinental Cup as well. So they had to have postponed games because of the fixture congestion. Because I know the Premier League do a similar thing with us. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Is that even? And plus, they're also knocked out of the Coupe de France. They're also knocked out of the Coupe de France, so it is easier for them to postpone games, so they can play when the Coupe de France is being played. But yeah, Olise is nowhere near the best player in the world. He ain't even the best French player in the world. Far from it. He ain't even better than Dembele, in my opinion. Olise is a very good footballer, man. The problem is I can't say he's the best player in the world because I genuinely don't believe he's the best player in his team. I've always said Harry Kane is the best player in Bayern. Harry Kane has been the best player for Bayern for quite a while. Yamal for me, look, I'm gonna keep saying it till the cows come home. Yamal is the best player in the world. From what I've seen of him in the La Liga, he's now starting to bring output to his game. His overall influence for Barcelona being their best player, in my opinion. Rafinha not being the same thing, not doing the same thing that he did last season. I think that Yamal is the best player in the world at this minute. But for me, if you're gonna say Elise is the best in the world, then you have to argue, is he the best player at Bayern? And if you think that, then that's cool. That's cool. But for me, Harry Kane is the best player at Bayern Munich, and he's not the best player in the world, in my opinion. It is what it is. It is what it is. I think Virgil would rasp the pen, though. I can't lie. Remember, Virgil can ling a free kick. That's true. That's true. That's why I had to change it to Ibu, man. To change it to Ibu. Arsenal, look what you've done. Bundesliga fans have won this week because of you. They shouldn't have won. They shouldn't have drew against Leverkusen, man. Leverkusen are not that good. Yeah, I think anyone would want Elise at Madrid. Big up, Mystical. Have you already talked about what Ornstein said about Arne Slot and the situation with how he views the club's take on him? I have. I've spoken about it on Copish. I will speak about it now. At this moment, Ornstein will only be a mouthpiece for the football club because the football club will only want Ornstein to say what they want the world to say. Does that mean that it's guaranteed that he stays? No, but there is some rumor that the fact that they think Arne Slot can still turn this around, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I genuinely think that they won't go for Xabi Alonso. I genuinely don't think that they'll make a new move for a new manager as well. I just genuinely don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Let Ibu take a pen, make it fair because GA is ruining the sport. Nah, I need to score the penalties, bro. Ram, I need you to keep telling these man about Yamal. I've been calling him the best since the Euros. I wouldn't say he was the best last season. Last season was Dembele. Dembele was just up another level. But right now, he is the best player in the world, in my opinion. He's bringing out output. He's influencing games as well. It's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. What's the next game? Real Madrid versus Man City. Sorry, appreciate 15 people in the chat. There's 15 likes as well. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're currently on 887. So if we can get it up to 900 on the replay, then I'll be very much appreciated, man. Very much appreciated as well. But Real Madrid versus Man City. Another poor performance from an English team. Valverde, man. Valverde. Where was this? Where was this performance, man? I've been waiting for you to come onto the stage. And now you decide to do it now. Where was this entire season? Federico, where was this? What a performance from Federico Valverde. An absolute menace on that right-hand side. Nico O'Reilly couldn't deal with him. Mark Gay was sent to the shops. Flick the ball over his head, being like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Valverde, man. Valverde was incredible yesterday, man. So good. So good. Fede Valverde, man, a player reminds me of Gerrard, can take over a game and has that rocket of a shot. Exactly, man. I wouldn't say he's fully like Gerrard. I think Gerrard has a bit more technical ability about him, range of passing and everything. But yeah, finally Valverde's come to the party. Finally, he's come to the party, and it shows how good a footballer he is, man. I think people forget how good of a footballer he is. You know what? During the entire season, I was cussing him, being like, "Bro, what are you doing? This is not you." At that moment in time, I'm taking Soboslai over you, bro. You're not putting out the performances. But now he's come to the party. Been waiting for that. I sent that invitation months ago, bro. And only now you just come to the party. Only now you just come to the party. Disappointed, bro. Disappointed. But big up Valverde, bro. What a performance, man. What a performance from that guy, bro. Been waiting about 3 months. You scored 3 goals. Been waiting 3 months for this performance, bro. 3 months. And only now you just come. But big up Valverde, man. Big up Valverde. Exactly. Shankly, you said it right there. Klopp wanted Valverde. Big up your damn self, Shankly, man. Hope you're doing well. Klopp wanted Valverde. He's a good player, bro. He's a very good player. He's a leader. I think he's also the captain, isn't he? He's the captain. Captain's performance from Federico Valverde. A true captain's performance as well. Trent was all right. Defensively, a little bit, bit shaky. Doku was getting through him a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. He was going all over the place. But overall, I think he was okay. He was good. He was very good yesterday. A lot of decent play down that right-hand side. Passing was very good. A little bit iffy with some of his decisions, but yeah, great talent, great player, great team performance from the team. Should have been 4-0, Vinicius. Apparently, I was a bit mad that Valverde didn't take it, but apparently he told Vinicius to take the penalty. I'm like, really, Valverde? Really? You had to give it to Vinny? I mean, you could have lenged it. You could have lenged it. You could have got 4 goals that game. 4. But Valverde's the captain. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit, he's going to, what's it called? He's going to be a bit selfless, let other players have some of the glory. So, yeah, big up. Big up Valverde, bro. Big up Valverde. But yeah, horrible performance by Man City, though. Horrible performance by Man City. It's crazy how poor they were. Haaland, we need to have conversation about Erling Haaland. The one thing I would say about Haaland, he's a freak of nature, can score a load of goals. But other than that, if you look at that performance, the Lewandowski's performance, there's levels to this game, bro. If you really want to be in the conversation with the likes of Lewandowski, Kane, Benzema, Suarez, you got to be doing more than just scoring goals, bro. Got to be doing more than just scoring goals. Heck, you could even argue Kylian Mbappe is a better striker at this moment in time than Erling Haaland. What was it? How many goals has Haaland scored in his last 10, 15 games? I think his last goal was against Liverpool, which was a penalty. It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. But other than that, Rodri, Ruben, the defense, O'Reilly and Gay, that left-hand side was getting cooked left, right, and center. Donnarumma as well. One thing that people think about when they talk about Alisson being poor, Donnarumma has these moments. That's the problem. You saw what happened to Donnarumma last season against PSG. You saw what happened against PSG. Let the ball slip under his fingers and Harvey Elliott scored. Donnarumma is a world-class keeper, but he's not impenetrable. That's why when people disrespect Ali, Donnarumma is capable of doing those kind of mistakes. Capable. Also gave away a penalty as well. Gave away a penalty. Overall, a really poor performance from City. Pep Guardiola, I don't know what he was doing into this game. I don't know what he was doing. Playing Semenyo on the right, was playing Semenyo in the 10, Bernardo Silva and Rodri as a double pivot, Savinho on the right. It's just, it don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. And Pep Guardiola is currently at a loss. He doesn't know what he's doing. It seems as though he doesn't know what he's doing. And we'll talk about Pep Guardiola, one of the best tactical minds in the world. And you don't know what he's doing. It's crazy, man. Crazy. And similar to the Chelsea tie, this tie looks over and done with as well. Again, City will have to be the 4th team in history to overturn a 3-goal deficit in a knockout game in the Champions League. Only 3 other teams have done it. And you're playing up against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, one of the best teams in Europe. I know people say Deportivo La Coruña did it against Milan. Roma did it against Barca. We did it against Barca. Man City can do it. But this Man City is not on the same level of that Liverpool team. And that Roma team, man. That Roma team had to ride their luck a lot. And they had Alisson in goal. They had De Rossi in midfield. I tell you what, if you look at that Roma team and you compare it to the Man City team of today, you can have some conversation about certain players getting into that team. I'll tell you that for a fact. There are conversations. Well, they had Alisson in goal, Florenzi, Manolas, Kolarov was also in that team. De Rossi was in there. Nainggolan, Raja Nainggolan, who was a very good footballer himself. Dzeko was in that team. I can't remember who else was in that team as well. Like they had some really good players, man. Really solid footballers as well. And to say that that team could go up against this Man City team, you could easily say that. Easily say that. Yeah, I'm just looking at the lineup as well. What was it? Manolas, Federico Fazio, Strootman, a very good player. Pellegrini was there. Bruno Perez, Perossi, Dzeko, bro. Good players there, man. Some really good players. And obviously in that third, in the 3-0, Patrick Schick was there. Juan Jesus was in there. Bro, they had some decent players, man. They had some really good players. Really good players, bro. Pellegrini was a very good box-to-box midfielder, man. I think City could definitely do with Pellegrini. So if you're telling me that team is of the level of City today, I think I'd call you mad. I'd honestly call you mad, in my opinion. In my opinion. But again, game is over and done with at for Man City and Real Madrid. Game is over and done. Big up Sammy. I know Rudiger was there also. Pjanic was a baller. Yeah, of course. Big up Sammy as well. Obviously, your team will be going into the quarterfinals at this stage. Going into the quarterfinals at this stage. Rami, remember Cassano from back in the day for Roma with Totti? Oh, of course, bro. What a partnership. Then that was the time when Batistuta just left Roma as well. So big up, man. Haaland's just not playing like he wants it badly enough, not getting into the right spaces and lazy on the ball. That's a fair point. You could argue that. Problem is, though, I would also argue that the technical ability of him is lacking because, again, you look at Lewandowski. I always use Lewandowski as an example. The guy's 37, but you see the hold-up play, the technical ability, the passing, the ability to bring other players into the game. This is 37-year-old Lewandowski doing this. Like, I expect Haaland to do something like that. And if he's incapable of doing it, then there has to be a question about his quality as an overall striker. Quality as an overall striker, man. Playing Rodri alone in midfield was 2 seasons ago. Exactly. You can't play Rodri alone anymore. That's why I say if Tonali moves to Man City, Rodri's got his perfect partner next to him. It's like having Steven Gerrard with Jordan Henderson. Let Gerrard do the playmaking, the quarterback role. Let Jordan Henderson do the running for him. Let Jordan Henderson do the running for him, man. Lever don't do that anymore, Ramp. Bro, he literally just did it against Newcastle. He was the only guy that was literally. He was the only guy that had his back to goal, taking on the centre backs in Tiao and Cher, and literally laying it off for the likes of Rafinha, man. Come on, Sammy, we can't be doing this. I know he plays for Barca, bro, but Lewandowski's still that guy, bro. He's still that guy. Griezmann, a big baller, Sammy's favorite player of all time. Tell them, Sammy. Exactly, man. By the way, the touch from Griezmann against Tottenham, bro. Oh, go throwback, bro. Throwback, man. Oh, loved it, man. Beautiful play. Talk on Savio around. People call me a hater. I'm praying Savio plays next week, man. We need him fit and healthy. Poor. Again, ever since that £60 million thing, I think the City fans have really been on his case about why he's still in the team. He's not good enough. And I think it shows. Savinho has just not been at that level, man. It's not been at that level. Not been at that level. And I think it showed. I'm looking at the stats right now for the overall play. To be fair, Man City didn't actually do, but Real Madrid didn't go at Man City that much. Real Madrid didn't have a lot of chances in that game, but Man City had more dominating possession. They had more of the momentum, but they still have less XG. Shows how good you can be off the ball, and it shows how good you can be if you take your chances. And that's what Valverde did. I owe Olmo an apology, man. Savio is way worse. Again with the flipping hate, bro. Why with the hate? But people, on to the next game. I think, arguably one of the most shocking results that I thought. Leverkusen versus Arsenal 1-1. Leverkusen going into this game were a bit indifferent in the Bundesliga. I still think they're 6th or 7th in the Bundesliga at the minute. Currently fighting for a place in a Champions League spot. But the issue is they're going up against an Arsenal team who are meant to be the best team in Europe. This is an Arsenal team that was meant to be the best in Europe. And again, a poor performance from Arsenal and Leverkusen doing the business. Were they a bit fortuitous with Robert Andrich being still being on the pitch? Maybe. But the likes of Havertz, Saka, not Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Gyökeres, Gabriel, Saliba, you should be expecting a lot more. You should be expecting a lot more from this Arsenal team. Leverkusen haven't been that good. It's crazy how one of the best teams in Europe, in Arsenal, and Leverkusen, a team that's been a bit indifferent, were able to dominate them from start to finish, defend for their lives, and in the end, Arsenal get a dodgy penalty. You could put Arsenal fans would argue, how did Robert Andrich stay on the pitch? And the fact that he scored the goal makes it a lot worse. Well, you were lucky to get your penalty. That wasn't a penalty. I see so many Arsenal fans telling me about, oh, that's a penalty. He clips his leg. The amount of clipped legs that can show of your defenders doing that to opposition players, I could do the exact same thing for you. Exact same thing for you. Everyone who's watched the game, everyone that knows football, played football, not a penalty. Not a penalty. Yeah, Velvet, as they did play at the start, but still Havertz coming off the bench, one of Leverkusen's best players. Sorry, that still shows the quality of the team. And the fact they only got a draw against a lucky draw against the Leverkusen team just shows the levels. Again, I get called a hater when I say I don't rate their attack. Saka was non-existent. Gyökeres was non-existent. What? Everything that they both had was 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Martinelli, not good. Never rated him from the start. I've always rated that midfield. That midfield is a good midfield. The defense is very good. They've got a very good goalkeeper. But your attack would be the undoing. And maybe they'll go back to the Emirates and they'll win. And I think they will win. They'll definitely go through. The fact that they got a draw out of this game shows a lot. But again, Arsenal being the best team in Europe and struggling against a team like Leverkusen says a lot, man. Says a lot. I can't lie, bro. Watching Arsenal attack is tough. It is tough. It is tough to watch these teams play. It's tough to watch Arsenal play, bro. It's so tough. And people expect me to rate that team. People expect me to rate Arsenal's attack. Again, I want to reiterate it for all the Arsenal people think that I'm hating. Midfield is good. Defense is solid. Goalkeeper is very good. Your attack sucks, though. You won't change my mind about it. You won't change my mind. But I'm sorry. They got the most goals in the league stage. Like that means much. Crazy, man. Keep telling man. Oh, yes, don't give me joke, bro. Don't give me joke. But again, that striker for Leverkusen, Kofani, what a performance. Was an absolute menace for Saliba and Gabriel. Bit fortuitous that Gabriel and Saliba didn't get a booking in any of those incidences. But again, it's one of those results that Leverkusen could take to the Emirates. I don't know whether they'll get a win at the Emirates. I highly doubt they will win. If they could defend like that for 90 minutes, barring that last opportunity with when Tillman slide tackled Madueke, they could do something. But again, I will say this again, and I'll say this till the cows come home. The quality of the Arsenal team would do the business. They better do the business. I don't see anything otherwise. But people, there's about 7 people in the chat. Appreciate you still sticking by the channel. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Lastly, I actually want to end on a high for English football. End on a high. Newcastle United. Newcastle United, probably the most respectful performance that you could get from any of the English teams. The most respectful. Um, Playing against a team that's in form in Barcelona, with what I've just said originally, the best player in the world, in my opinion, in Lamine Yamal. And they gave them a very good game. They gave them a game. They were tough. They were aggressive. And they were making chances. They were creating chances at will. And they deserved their 1-0. Joan Garcia, look, I'm going to hold some corn. Apparently, he wasn't very good that game. And I have to agree, he wasn't very good that game. I was still a bit vexed about the Galatasaray game, but Joan Garcia was poor that game. I think a lot of players weren't that good. I think Yamal was a bit indifferent. Rafinha wasn't that great. Lewandowski was trying his stuff, but again, when he needs to be in the box, he wasn't in the box. It's just crazy that one moment of pure quality can get you out of trouble. And that's what happened. Danny Olmo with beautiful little twinkle toes getting through the defense, inviting the challenge from Thiaw, who mistimes it and clips him on the leg to give him a penalty. And that's how football works, bro. This is how you play football at the top level. One mistake can change the entire complex of the game. And that's exactly what happened. Danny Olmo driving at the defense, mistake from the defense, penalty given, penalty tucked away. And that's probably going to be good night Vienna for Newcastle, unfortunately. That doesn't take away the fact that they played the best out of every single English team. The fact that they probably given English football a lot more respect than it could have been. The fact that every other top team in Europe were horrible, but the worst team, and people would say they are the worst team. They're the only team the only English team in the Champions League that didn't qualify in the top 8, had to go through the playoffs. It's crazy how they were the only team who probably had the hardest game out of all of us, and they showed the quality of their team. And it says a lot about the top teams in general. The fact that Newcastle played the best football and they got a good result out of it. And they're one of the worst teams, supposedly one of the worst teams in the Champions League that is English. Says a lot, man. Says a lot. Ramini Santonali and someone, what a player, bro. What a player. What a player. I used to say I still say, I think he reminds me a lot like Gattuso. I think his passing, though, is a lot better than Gattuso. A lot better than Gattuso. I think technical ability he has in abundance. But Tonali, man, what a player. What a player. Very good player. Man of the match for me against Barcelona as well. Dominated that midfield. In the midfield where they had Pedri and... who they have? I think it's Pedri and Frankie de Jong, if I'm not mistaken. Should be Pedri and Frankie de Jong. No, Pedri and Bernal. Pedri and Bernal. For a team with Pedri and Bernal, he dominated that midfield, along with Fermin Lopez as a supporting player as well. What a performance from that guy, man. Really showing the levels. And honestly, really showing that man deserves a bigger move to a bigger club, man. It really does. It's only the P&P thing that is leveling the playing field for some of the Prem sides. When it comes to playing proper football, the Prem teams can't hang. Not really. Maybe so. Maybe so, man. Maybe so. But it shows. After looking through all these games, Newcastle being the best team out of all of it, is English football, the quality of English football, is it under question? Is it under question? Newcastle being the worst team out of all the English clubs, and they've played the best against the hardest opposition out of everybody. Our questions need to be had about the English football, because I'm starting to be proven right, in my opinion. The fact that English football ceiling has dropped significantly, and it hasn't been as good as what it used to be. It says a lot. Big up Uncle Rods, man. Big up Uncle Rods in the building. If you haven't already, subscribe to Uncle Rods, man. Hope you're doing well, Rods. Hope you're doing well, Rods. Yeah. A big question mark on English football. The quality. I've always said this from the start. If you compare this to the teams of Arsenal and their caliber to the likes of City, Liverpool back in the day, heck, Even Tottenham as well. Tottenham in 2019. There's levels to this game, man. Levels to this game, bro. Levels to this game. And it shows. It shows, man. It shows. But people, there's about 10 people in the chat. Big up all you damn selves for watching the entire video. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I will be back for the Liverpool preview of Tottenham. A must-win game for Liverpool. If we don't win, Arne Slot should be sacked immediately. Big up everyone that's in the chat. Big up Uncle Roz as always. Big up Velv. Big up Sammy. Big up Yards. Big up everyone that was in the chat previously as well, man. I hope everyone's doing well. Big up Shankly as well. I will be back tomorrow for the Liverpool preview. And also, I will be back with Drifty for the Friday night gaming special with Drifty. Hopefully, we'll be getting some more guests on there. It will either be on my channel or be on Drifty's channel. Just keep an eye out for both of us. Keep the notification bell on, and you will be notified of that video. But people, I appreciate every single one of you being here. Like the video if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And once again, English football quality ? Big up everyone. See you guys later. Peace.